If you want to, you can take notes as well. Either way is fine with me. All right. So in the last class, I was telling you about how water is managed in your body. Okay. So inside your body, the water completely that is present inside your body is divided into, no, it is present as ECF. Oh, sorry. It's present as ECF and ICF. Okay. Now, as such, what happens is your water, the water inside your body, can be, extracellular fluid which is present completely outside the cells, and intracellular fluid. Please be careful. ICF is intra. You will have ECF का एक part will be in plasma and another plasma part will be in intercellular spaces. This is not ICF, okay? Be careful. ICF means intracellular fluid. Intracellular fluid essentially is one of the main sources of water inside your body, wherein most of the water inside your body will be present there, inside the cell itself. That is ICF. Now, any water that is present outside the cell will be comprised in ECF, extracellular fluid. Extracellular fluid can be divided into two parts. One is plasma. So, um, you know, water that will hold your blood cells, which will make a suspension. वो फ्लूइड को प्लाज्मा बोलते, that is a part of extracellular fluid because it is essentially outside the cell. And you will have intercellular fluid. Intercellular fluid या interstitial fluid भी बोलते हैं इसको, ठीक है? It is also called interstitial fluid. So interstitial fluid is the fluid present in between cells. So let us suppose these are three cells. Let us suppose it's a four cells है, and the fluid that is present in between them like this, ठीक है, उसको interstitial fluid बोलते हैं. Intracellular fluid is essentially this green में जो represent कर रहा हूँ, which is present inside the cell itself. Okay, so that is one part that we discussed on that day. Now, other than that, I told you that water essentially is, a normal water balance inside your body is maintained by three main mechanisms. Okay, whenever there is water loss or there is excessive water, mainly water loss, water is maintained inside your body through three main mechanisms. Okay, two organs are responsible for it. Two very important organs. One is your GIT, gastrointestinal tract, and the other is your kidneys, another very important source, especially the kidneys. Okay, so the mechanism through which water is retained, one is thirst. So whenever a person is dehydrated, what happens is thirst response is triggered from their hypothalamus. So once thirst response is being triggered, the person will become obviously thirsty and they will start drinking more water, wherein fluid balance will be regained back to normal. That is one way. Another thing that happens is that their osmolality will increase. Specifically, their ECF osmolality will increase. Lality. One way of thinking of osmolality is the thickness of the fluid itself. So imagine करो आपका ECF गाढ़ा हो जा रहा. So what happens is ECF will become very, very concentrated. As a result, things will start getting disrupted. And what will happen is this will in turn, this disruption will trigger hypothalamus. Hence, यहाँ से हाइपोथैलेमस अगर ट्रिगर हुआ और हाइपोथैलेमस को स्टिमुलेट करे, वो फिर थर्स्ट को स्टिमुलेट करता. सो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इज द प्राइमरी रेस्पॉन्स दैट यू गेट इज थर्स्ट, wherein hypothalamus is directly stimulated and you are feeling thirsty. That is one. Another is ECF osmolality will increase, wherein the concentration of solutes that are present inside your solution will increase, essentially leading to stimulation of hypothalamus again and causing thirst response, taking increased water intake. The third response will be, now this is a little bit extreme, but what happens is water will start getting redistributed out of your ICF. So intracellular fluid में से कभी प्लाज्मा बहुत कम हो गया, या फिर because of blood loss or because of severe dehydration, sometimes if fluid is very low, what will happen is fluid that is present inside your cell will start moving out and your cells will become dehydrated. And that is when what will happen is vasopressin is triggered. So vasopressin कौन है? Vasopressin is ADH, एंटी डायूरेटिक हार्मोन भी बोलते हैं इसको. Vasopressin का काम ये है, whenever vasopressin is triggered, or whenever a response is triggered wherein vasopressin is being secreted in your body, it will start holding on to water. ठीक है, vasopressin का काम यह है, it is thinking okay, पानी बहुत कम है बॉडी में, आई कैनॉट लूज एनी मोर वाटर, सो व्हाट आई विल डू इज आई विल होल्ड ऑन टू वट एवर वाटर आई कैन कम अक्रॉस. So it will essentially trigger, it will especially target your kidneys. So whatever urine that is being made, the amount of urine that comes out of the person's body will significantly decrease, because your body cannot afford to lose any more water. Let us suppose one day you are not drinking enough amount of water. Okay, now normally you are supposed to drink about 2 to 3 liters of water depending on your body weight, and there are a few differences, but in general 2 to 3 liters of water is a good ballpark to lie in. Now essentially what happens is, if let's suppose, you can do this experiment yourself, if let's suppose one day you notice you haven't drunk enough amount of water, what will happen is you will not urinate as well, but it is very, very logical, you're not drinking enough amount of water and you're not excreting any water. But along with that, what will happen is you will see that your eyes are becoming puffy, and you will see your skin will also become slightly puffy, your feet will become puffy. This is happening because of vasopressin. Vasopressin and cortisol, both of them are responsible for keeping water inside. So what they will do is they will not let water get excreted out of your body, and especially when they are targeting kidneys. यहाँ पर क्या होता है kidneys में, the response is in such a way that, let us suppose this is the cellular part of the kidney, and this is the lumen wherein urine is being made. ठीक है, let us suppose this is the, अच्छा आप लोगों को किडनी पढ़ा है क्या अब तक? Have you all been taught about the nephron especially?
Yes, sir.
पढ़ा है, अच्छा ठीक है. So you know what is the collecting duct, you know what is PCT, DCT, and what is the collecting duct? थोड़ा आइडिया है आप लोगों को क्या है? I hope you know, and I hope you remember. So what happens is essentially यहाँ पर आपके PCT and DCT से लूप ऑफ हेनली में देखो, and यहाँ से ऐसा देखो. Please excuse the diagram, I'm not exactly very good at drawing this, but let us suppose ऐसा है. ठीक है, एक नेफ्रॉन का, and this is your glomerulus. यहाँ से ठीक है, and you have the mesh work and all of that. ठीक है. So what aldosterone will do is, sorry, what this ADH will do is essentially it will increase the retention of water inside your body. Anti-diuretic hormone. See, diuresis is the property where diuresis is the property of urination. Okay, so anti-diuretic hormone, by definition or by the term of the by the term itself, you can understand that it is working against diuresis. यहाँ पर it is trying to decrease the load of urine. तो जितना भी urine normally आ रहा एक person को, so a normal individual will urinate somewhere between 900 to 1.4 liters. 900 ml to 1.4 liters per day, roughly, depends on their water intake. Whenever a person is dehydrated, this volume will go down significantly. This is specifically because ADH will make sure that water is not being sent out into the collecting duct, and water is in turn being collected inside the cell. Okay? You do not have enough amount of water, your body would not want to throw away whatever water it has. Okay? पानी है ही नहीं आपके पास. You are not drinking enough amount of water. So anti-diuretic hormone is triggered, and essentially what it will do is it will hold on to whatever water is present, and along with water another fellow will come, that is sodium. Sodium and water have a very strong relationship. Wherever sodium goes, water will go. Wherever water is going, sodium will go. More importantly, wherever sodium is going, water will go. So what happens is ADH will make sure that a lot of sodium is being reabsorbed back into your body. And what happens because of this reabsorption is that it is reabsorbed into your cells, into the cells around your nephron. And what will happen because of this is that water will come along with sodium, and that is how fluid is being collected inside the body, and your ADH is making sure that you are not getting extremely dehydrated. So that is what we had discussed in the last class. All right, now coming to the next part, which is RAS. So RAS is essentially renin angiotensin aldosterone system. Renin angiotensin aldosterone system. Okay, if you're not understanding anything, or if you want me to repeat anything, please feel free to stop me at any time and ask doubts. Okay, now renin, आप लोगों को अगर किडनी पढ़ा दिए, then you should know what is renin, right? I'm sure you must have heard about renin at least. What are the functions of renin? If you can tell me, that will be great. What is renin? रेनिन कौन है एंड क्या काम करता? प्रोटीन है, एंजाइम है, क्या है? I'm just asking for a simple definition. You don't need to go into depth.
Protein, sir.
It is a protein. What does it do? Acha, what is the main function of renin? Let me put it this way. What is the main function of renin? There are several functions, but main function क्या है? Acha, renin essentially plays a very important role in maintaining water balance inside your body. ठीक है? So essentially speaking, what happens is इसका renin angiotensin aldosterone system goes in this way. There are a bunch of reactions that are occurring in your body, and renin plays a role in that. ठीक है? So first of all, we'll start off with a particular protein that is being secreted by your liver called angiotensinogen. ठीक है? Angiotensinogen एक प्रोटीन है. It is a protein that is being secreted by your liver. ठीक है? This is a circulatory protein, meaning this fellow will be roaming around in the blood happily. अच्छा टूर करते रहते हैं नो blood में, and you will just see angiotensin popping around here and there. Now what happens is whenever a person is being dehydrated or in whatever condition, whenever renin is being secreted, now there are several ways through which renin can get stimulated. अगर blood pressure कम हो गया, blood fluid level कम हो गया, या water में fluid level कम हो गया, बहुत सारे triggers है. ठीक है? There are several things that can trigger the secretion of renin. I hope you guys are following along. If you're not understanding, please feel free to ask. Now, there are several things that are triggering renin. Let us suppose one such condition. Let us suppose someone's blood pressure drops, okay, or they are getting dehydrated, whatever the reason is. रेनिन ट्रिगर हो रहा. रेनिन ट्रिगर होके क्या करता? ये एंजियोटेंसिनोजन को कन्वर्ट करता. ठीक है? एंजियोटेंसिनोजन will get converted in the presence of renin into angiotensin 1. This gets converted into angiotensin 1. Okay, this is the first reaction of RAS. So in the presence of renin, this is acting as an enzyme here. Okay, renin helps in the conversion of angiotensinogen into angiotensin 1. Now this angiotensin 1, this is all happening in the blood. Okay, so blood में angiotensinogene अच्छा फिर रहे थे और वो अपना पिकनिक मना रहे थे, and whenever let's suppose ब्लड प्रेशर बहुत कम हो गया, योर बॉडी स्टार्ट गेटिंग अलार्म्ड. अरे ब्लड प्रेशर बहुत कम हो गया, पर्सन को प्रॉब्लम होगा. सो व्हाट शुड वी डू? वी शुड स्टार्ट रिलीजिंग रेनिन. व्हाट हैपेंस इज एंजियोटेंसिनोजन व्हिच इज लाइक रोमिंग अराउंड आराम से आपके ब्लड में, that will get converted into angiotensin 1 whenever this fellow gets involved, whenever renin gets involved, and it will help in conversion of angiotensin 1 to angiotensinogen to angiotensin 1. Now this angiotensin 1 is still in the blood, and you know that in the blood it will circulate in each and every part of your body. At one point of time, this angiotensin 1 will reach your lungs. Okay? And in your lungs there is a special enzyme called ACE, angiotensin converting enzyme. ACE बोलते हैं उसको, angiotensin converting enzyme. ठीक है? Now angiotensin converting enzyme is specifically present in lungs. ठीक है? ये angiotensin 1 has to reach the lungs to encounter ACE. Okay, without it, it will not get converted. In the presence of ACE, angiotensin 1 gets converted into angiotensin 2. Angiotensin 2 has a direct correlation with blood pressure. Angiotensin 2 will directly increase blood pressure. ठीक है? यहाँ पर as I told you, there are several triggers to renin release. Renin जो release हो रहा, there are several reasons why renin is getting released. One reason could be low blood pressure. ठीक है? Because the person is not drinking enough amount of water, they might have skipped meals, but whatever the reason is, blood pressure कम हो रहा, तो renin release हुआ in order to increase blood pressure. Because of several reactions, what happened is angiotensin 2 was formed, and this angiotensin 2 has a direct reaction where it can, इधर लगा देता हूं मैं, it will cause increase in BP. ठीक है? This is one mechanism that happens. This angiotensin 2 further gets converted into aldosterone. So this fellow gets converted into aldosterone. ठीक है? Aldosterone में ये convert हो रहा with the help of aminopeptidase. There is a different enzyme inside your blood which is called aminopeptidase. ठीक है? In the presence of aminopeptidase, angiotensin 2 will get converted into aldosterone. Now, aldosterone is specifically being secreted by your adrenal cortex. ठीक है? Aldosterone itself can cause vasopressin release. This is being secreted through adrenal cortex. आप लोगों को adrenal gland के बारे में पढ़ा है, किडनी के बारे में पढ़ा है, तो adrenal gland के बारे में पढ़ाए होंगे सर ना? Have you all been taught about the adrenal gland?
No, sir.
Haven't been taught. Acha. So adrenal gland is a small gland that is present directly above your kidneys. Okay, there are different regions inside the adrenal gland. So the outermost layer will generally be called adrenal cortex, and उसके बीच में अगर आप, I'll just give you a brief rundown of कैसा रहता. Let us suppose this is your adrenal gland. ये ऐसा अंदर का एक लेयर रहता, बाहर का एक लेयर रहता. This outer region is called cortex, adrenal cortex, and this is called the medulla. ठीक है? So outer region is called adrenal cortex, inner region will be called adrenal medulla. अलग-अलग region के अलग-अलग functions है. The adrenal cortex further has three different divisions. Now when you come across this topic in anatomy, you will learn about it a little bit more. But essentially what is happening is aldosterone is a mineralocorticoid that is being released from one part of your cortex. ठीक है? Zona reticularis, zona glomerulus, तीन अलग parts रहते हैं. ज़ोना fasciculata, वो रीजन्स में से एक रीजन में aldosterone रिलीज हो रहा. मेड्यूला जो है, it is responsible for secretion of things like adrenaline, your serotonin, वो पूरे. ठीक है? Anyway, we are deviating from the topic. यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा है? Angiotensin 2 is getting converted into, coming back to RAS, angiotensin 2 in the presence of aminopeptidase is being converted into aldosterone. ठीक है? This fellow is getting secreted out of adrenal cortex, and this fellow has a direct effect on vasopressin. It will cause vasopressin release or ADH release. Vasopressin is also called ADH. ठीक है? And other than that, aldosterone has an effect on your kidney. Two effects actually. One thing is that it will increase sodium reabsorption, and it will decrease potassium reabsorption, or you can put it in another way wherein it is increasing potassium excretion. Increases, one second, potassium excretion. इससे होता क्या? अगर सोडियम reabsorption ज्यादा हो गया, now I hope you know the difference between reabsorption and secretion. If you have learnt about the kidney, reabsorption is the process in which contents from your collecting duct or from your PCT and DCT are being reabsorbed back into the body. Secretion is where, or excretion भी बोल सकते हो उसको, secretion is where contents from your body are thrown into the lumen. So essentially into the collecting duct, into the lumen, जहाँ पर loop of Henle and all of that, उसके अंदर डाल रहे, तो urine का part बन सकता वो. Whenever we talk about excretion, it is going into the urine. Whenever we talk about reabsorption, it is coming out of the urine into the body. ठीक है? So it is being reabsorbed back in. Now I told you earlier, sodium will not come alone. Sodium का एक बहुत जिगरी दोस्त है, which is water. सोडियम अकेला कहीं भी नहीं जाता, उन्हें हमेशा अपने यार को साथ में लेके जाता, which is water. So what happens is, as aldosterone is causing sodium to be reabsorbed back inside, water comes along with it. And what happens is, as a result of RAS, so this is RAS essentially. It's a very simplified version of RAS, but it is essentially RAS. इससे क्या हो रहा? Blood pressure increase हो रहा, ADH release हो रहा, उसकी वजह से water retention होता, and aldosterone itself will also cause water to be retained by causing sodium reabsorption. And one thing you need to remember is that blood volume is directly proportional to blood pressure. इसका मतलब ये है, नाउ आपका नॉर्मल ब्लड वॉल्यूम इज रफली अराउंड 5 liters. You have 5 liters of blood inside your body. ये 5 liters is able to maintain a blood pressure normal in a healthy person of about 120 by 80 mmHg. ठीक है, अगर ये ब्लड वॉल्यूम थोड़ा भी कम हुआ, ब्लड प्रेशर भी इफेक्ट होता. ठीक है, एक पाइप के अंदर imagine your blood vessels as pipes. Okay, and imagine there is water flowing into those pipes with a certain speed. ठीक है, which is creating a certain amount of pressure inside the pipe itself. अगर पानी का वॉल्यूम कम कर दिया आप, तो वो प्रेशर भी कम हो जाता ना. How you can feel that pressure is by simply pinching the pipe. If you have a very thin pipe, imagine you have a very thin pipe at your home, and there is a certain flow of water that is coming, and you simply try to pinch that pipe. It will give you a certain amount of resistance. That is the pressure that is being exerted by water onto the pipe. The same way, blood exerts a certain amount of pressure onto the blood vessel. ठीक है, यहां पर क्या होता, अगर वो फ्लो ऑफ वाटर कम हो गया या फ्लो ऑफ ब्लड कम हो गया, वॉल्यूम ऑफ ब्लड कम हो गया या वॉल्यूम ऑफ वाटर कम हो गया, दैट प्रेशर आल्सो गोज डाउन. तो in this scenario, renin was being released to bring that pressure back up. ठीक है, because there was low amount of blood pressure, what happened is your body thought, okay, if blood pressure is very low, your brain and different organs will not get enough amount of oxygen, so I should start releasing renin. As a result, what happens is RAS gets triggered. The whole process of RAS gets triggered, and as a result, renin will convert angiotensinogen to angiotensin 1, and so on and so forth. Several reactions will occur, wherein ultimately BP is increasing, वाटर इज बीइंग रिटेन्ड इनसाइड योर बॉडी. सी, वाटर रिटेन करने का मतलब यह है कि ब्लड के अंदर ब्लड वॉल्यूम बढ़ा सकते हैं आप. ठीक है, बिकॉज प्लाज्मा एसेंशियली हैज अ लॉट ऑफ वाटर. ब्लड इज मेड अप ऑफ प्लाज्मा एंड सीरम कंपोनेंट्स, राइट. अगर प्लाज्मा कम हो गया, उसके अंदर ब्लड के अंदर पानी कम हो गया, तो आप ब्लड प्रेशर कम हो जाएगा. सो वाटर एज इट इज बीइंग रिटेन्ड इन, इट इज बीइंग थ्रोन इनटू योर ब्लड vessels in order to bring your blood pressure back up, and as a result what happens is the patient's BP will normalize. So that is another mechanism through which water balance is maintained inside your body. I hope you understood RAS. If you have doubts or if you want me to repeat anything again, please feel free to ask. If you didn't understand RAS or any part of RAS. The very important concept that will come repeat again and again this year as well. You'll find it in physiology as well. You'll find it in med surg next year, and you will also find it in pharmacology and pathology next year. So make sure that you are clear with this concept, क्योंकि नेक्स्ट ईयर आप लोगों को ब्लड प्रेशर एंड ब्लड प्रेशर मेडिसिन के बारे में पढ़ते. यू नीड टू नो हाउ दिस वर्क्स फॉर यू टू नो दैट. ठीक है, ऑल राइट. So you can put it in the chat as well if you're not able to use a microphone. Either way is fine with me. Okay, now coming to imbalance of water. Now water is imbalanced inside the body of a human in two main ways. One is dehydration, the other is overhydration. Both of them are a problem. Okay, so dehydration, as the name suggests, the person is coming across a condition where they are either not drinking enough amount of water, or they are having something like a sunstroke, or they might be having hemorrhage. Okay, there might be severe burns patients में भी dehydration होता. ठीक है, any condition, diarrhea हो सकता, vomiting हो सकता, excessive sweat हो सकता, fluid loss and burns हो सकता, adrenocortical dysfunction हो सकता, wherein you're not having enough amount of aldosterone. Normal amount of aldosterone is not being secreted, because of which most of the water is being excreted out of the urine. As such, dehydration will occur. Okay, now the main way through which, or the simplest way through which you can reverse dehydration essentially will be by providing the patient with fluids. ठीक है, यहाँ पर आप ऐसा ही, you will not give normal fluid. Okay, you will give them NS, or you will give them special type of fluid in order to make sure that they are regaining their turgidity back. The amount of fluid that is being lost here, that is being regained back, and you're not just putting water inside their body, you will put electrolyte water. So you'll put NS, या Ringer's lactate भी use कर सकते हैं आप. Whatever it is, you will try to bring the balance of water back into the person's body, and you will do so gradually. आप एक साथ बहुत सारा NS infuse नहीं कर सकते एक person की body में, that will create a big problem. So what you will do is, let us suppose they have a dehydration, when a certain percentage of body weight or certain percentage of bloody fluid is being lost. Let us suppose that let us suppose because of dehydration someone has lost 500 ml in their body. This is also a big amount, okay? 500 ml to 1 liter, let us suppose 500 ml. Now when you are bringing them back to normal, you will not put 500 ml back into their body at the same time. ठीक है, पूरा आधा लीटर ऐसा उनके क्या बोलते हैं खून ऐसा काट दे के पानी नहीं डाल देते उनके अंदर. So what happens is, you will roughly around 70% of this 500 ml will be infused into the person's body in about 1 to 2 hours after bringing them into the hospital. So as soon as they are diagnosed with dehydration, within the first 1 or 2 hours, you will replenish 70% of the fluid that has been lost in the body, and the rest 30%. So यहाँ पर 100% will be 500 ml. Okay, 500 ml is lost, तो आप उसको replace करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, तो 100% will be 500 ml here. 100% is not 5 liters inside your blood अगर बोल रहे हैं तो 500 ml loss हुआ because of whatever reason, तो वो 100 ml आप replenish करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, वो वापस लाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं patient की body में. तो 70% of that, so that is around 350 ml, will be given to the patient in the first 1 to 2 hours, and the rest 30% will be slowly infused over 6-7 hours, sometimes 24 hours. Okay, slowly, so that their body can adapt to it. Okay, you will not give it all together as is. Then we have overhydration. एंड डिहाइड्रेशन की वजह से दूसरे प्रॉब्लम्स भी हो सकते हैं. ये पेशेंट जब आते हैं आपके पास, यू विल सी दैट दीज पेशेंट्स विल हैव हेडेक, दे विल नॉट बी एबल टू वॉक प्रॉपर्ली, दे विल नॉट फॉलो कमांड्स प्रॉपर्ली, देयर विल बी अ लॉट ऑफ प्रॉब्लम विद दीज पेशेंट्स, एंड they will not be very cooperative as well, dehydrated patients. So sometimes they might become unconscious altogether. Overhydration, on the other hand, can be simply because you are drinking more excessive amounts of water, or it could also be wherein the patient is, renal failure ho raha, their kidneys are not working properly, because of which more amount of water is being retained inside the body. There is excessive production of ADH. ठीक है, एंटी डायरेटिक हार्मोन शुड बी प्रेजेंट इन नॉर्मल अमाउंट्स. अगर बहुत ज्यादा एक्सेसिव हो रहा एंटी डायरेटिक हार्मोन, दैट कैन बी अ बिग प्रॉब्लम, essentially leading to overhydration. So in all of these conditions, what you will do is, sometimes it could also be surgical operations. कोई trauma हुआ या pneumonia हो रहा patient को, lung infection है, pneumonia हो रहा, वो cases में भी overhydration होता. In these patients, what will happen is, because ECF and ICF, your extracellular fluid and intracellular fluid, will become extremely diluted, the patient will have headache, they will have a lot of lethargy, they'll become very lazy. And lethargy is not exactly laziness, I would say. Their movements will become very slow, they'll not be able to think properly, things like that. They'll have a little bit of confusion, and eventually they will have convulsions. So I'm not sure whether you have ever seen a patient with convulsions or fits, essentially, or convulsions. Okay, a type of fit is convulsions. Not all fits are convulsions. So some other time I'll explain what is the difference between a seizure and a convulsion. But essentially, because of overhydration, they can have convulsions as well. Now, treatment in this case will be immediately stopping all fluids and limiting water intake. You might stop water intake completely for a little while, or you might limit the amount of water that is being given to the patient. And what you will do is, you will give a hypertonic saline. So please remind me in the next class, I'll explain what is the difference between hypotonic, hypertonic and isotonic fluids. आप लोगों को पढ़ा है क्या कभी? What is hypertonic, hypotonic and hyper, hypo and iso? Have you all ever been taught about the difference between
No, sir.
hypotonic? No. Okay. So in the next class, please remind me. I'll explain what is the difference between hypertonic saline, hypotonic, and isotonic saline. There is a big difference. अलग-अलग situations में अलग-अलग use करते हैं. So essentially यहाँ पर क्या कर रहे हैं आप? Think of it this way: you are giving a saline which has a lot of sodium and chloride in it. Saline में normally you will have 0.9% NaCl, right? If you look at the bottle of saline, you will know that that fluid has 0.9% NaCl. Hypertonic solution will be such in which that percentage of saline will be higher. ठीक है, ये इसलिए दे रहे हैं क्योंकि बस जो पेशेंट है उनकी बॉडी में ऑलरेडी फ्लूइड बहुत ज्यादा है, इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स कम है, तो आप क्या कर रहे हैं, इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स भर भर के दे रहे हैं उनको. जितना भी वाटर देते हैं वो कम रहता, so the saline itself will be low, but it will be concentrated with electrolytes. That is one way through which you can treat overhydration. And over time, if you are able to control the patient's hydration level, if you are able to control the amount of fluid that they are consuming, or if they have renal insufficiency, you are able to rectify that, then the patient will come back to normal. Okay. So in the next class, we'll discuss about electrolytes, acid base balance, and pH and buffers. Okay. So please make sure that you read about this hydration, overhydration, dehydration, and read about renin angiotensin aldosterone system. The next class I'll ask you questions about it.